straight to individual stocks now. Aster DM Healthcare is on our radar. Ekta is here to tell us why she's watching that one. Ekta, over to you.
Thanks for that. Well, yes, that big deal which was anticipated took place last evening post-markets, where they are going to be selling their Gulf business to the PE firm Fetcher Capital, as well as the Aster DM promoters for a valuation of $1 billion. Now, 65% is going to be owned by Fetcher Capital and 35% by the Aster DM promoters. Sale is expected to be completed by the end of this fiscal. $903 million is payable on closing. The rest is contingent on certain events. Now, interestingly, the requests were received from bidders for continued promoter participation in the Gulf business. That's the reason, one of the reasons why they continued to be a part of the Gulf business. Now, a couple of reasons why I expect Aster DM to probably be in the green is because the India business is now going to have low debt, as the consolidated debt was on the Gulf business books, which is now out. Secondly, the promoters' wish is that they would like to reward the shareholders with a dividend. Remember, they would also benefit from a dividend because they own 42% stake in Aster DM. They would probably receive the dividends and then utilize it in order to buy the stake. But that is eventually the cash utilization, the dividend policy will all depend on the board. And the promoters are confident on running both the India as well as the Gulf business. They don't see any issues there. They are confident on the India growth and expansion plans. And lastly, the India business, according to analysts, is trading at around 15 times EV to EBITDA, which is a discount to peers, around 20 to 30% discount to its listed peers. So maybe there is a move up that we could see based on a couple of these factors, such as low debt, possibility of a dividend payout, as well as a discount in terms of valuations to listed peers.
All right, Ekta, thanks very much for that. We have the management of Aster DM joining us at 8:35 today to talk about this and more. Well, let's talk about the next one, which is on our radar. Zomato is what we're focusing on. There's a share sale which is going to happen. Nimish is here with details. Nimish, morning.
Hi, morning, Prashant. I expect a large block in Zomato today morning. So one of the large Chinese investor, Alipay, they're looking to sell close to 3.5% of company's equity, which is nearly 30 crore shares. The book was launched last evening. The indicative price is around 111.8, which suggests a 2% discount to yesterday's closing price, which means that most likely the deal will get executed in the block window today. After today's stake sale of 3.5%, the seller has a lockup for next 90 days. So for the next 3 months, there cannot be further selling coming in. I'll go with the green because the stock had cooled off from the recent highs, and the fact that this will happen in the block window suggests that the demand is quite strong. So expect a large block, but after that, we could see a bit of an uptick as well in Zomato today.
Okay, all right, Ramesh, thanks a lot for that. So we have two big deals that were announced actually overnight. One was Aster DM, and maybe the street is split on that one. Stock could be under some pressure, but PCBL, that one, in fact, the deal looked quite good. Sonal, tell us more about that.
Well, yes, it is a decent deal for PCBL. It leads to diversification from the rubber chemicals that the company makes. Let me start with the contours of the deal first. Acquired 100% share in Aquafarm Chemicals for around 3,800 crore rupees. So that's a big amount that the company is paying. Transaction will be funded via a mix of internal accruals and external fundraise as well. Now, this will mark company's foray into global specialty segment of water treatment chemicals and oil and gas chemicals as well, different from the carbon black that company makes currently. The acquired company, the financials, revenues are at around 2,008 crore rupees as on FY23. They did EBITDA of around 417 crore rupees, and this entire deal, the acquisition has been valued at 9.1 times FY23 EV to EBITDA. Now, of course, it will lead to debt coming in on their books at a larger level. So Nuvama says that near-term stress on the balance sheet will be there. However, acquisition would upgrade the business model and drive re-rating for the stock as well, because there is diversification from the commoditized nature that the business has. They are raising target EV to EBITDA multiple to 8 times versus 6 times earlier, and increasing target price to 279 versus 209 earlier.
Okay, that's on PCBL. Thanks a lot for that. Upasana is joining in to tell us about Siemens and how the quarter 2 looked. Upasana, over to you.
Well, the company's reported good set of numbers in Q4 SY23. On a consolidated basis, revenue saw an uptick of 25% on YoY basis, stood at 5,807 crores, which was above our poll estimates of 5,280 crores. PAT saw an uptick of 50% on YoY basis, stood at 571 crores, which was above our poll estimate of 509 crores. EBITDA also saw an uptick of 36% on YoY basis, stood at 700 crores versus the poll estimate of 647 crores, which was certainly above our poll estimate. EBITDA margin saw an uptick of 100 basis points on YoY basis, stood at 12.1%, which was in line with our poll estimate of 12.1%. Moving forward, the company has also highlighted that Daniel Spindler resigned as the CFO of the company with effect from February 29, 2024. And board has appointed Wolfgang Wrumming as the ED and CFO of the company for a period of 5 years with effect from March 1st, 2024. Additionally, board has also approved investment of up to 416 crores for capacity addition for power transformers and vacuum interrupters. So all in all, we are seeing a good set of numbers coming in from Siemens.
Thanks very much for that. Well, let's talk about financials. Union Bank and Manappuram are the two we're going to talk about. Abhishek has got details. Abhishek, morning.
Well, brokerages have had a meeting of the management. So, Motilal Oswal is having an analyst day over there for Union Bank. Key takeaways is being mentioned. They have a buy recommendation and a target price of 130 per share. They say that, Union Bank has said that the RBI's revised RWA, that is risk-weight asset, will impact their capital adequacy ratio by 45 basis points. Loan growth to remain healthy, they have guided for FY24 credit growth of anywhere between 10% to 12%. Remember that in Q2, the loan growth was a little north of 6%. Margins outlook looks steady over there. Asset quality is robust. Net NPA ratio to decline to less than 1% by Q4 FY24. Right now, as of Q2, it's at 1.3%. Strong focus on profitability, and they aim to deliver sustainable ROA of more than 1%. In Q2, the ROA was about 1.07%. Morgan Stanley has written on Manappuram. Again, analysts meet takeaways. They have an overweight rating and a target price of 200 per share. They say that the management has reiterated their 20% loan growth and 20% ROE in FY24, driven by non-gold business portfolio. In Q2, the AUM growth was around 27% YOY. For gold loans, the management has guided for an 8% growth in FY24 with an yield hovering around 21-22% mark. On non-gold, non-MFI business, management is confident of keeping the credit cost in the range of 1% to 1.5%. So, company is awaiting a response from SEBI with respect to the IPO of Asirvad MFI. Back to you.
Thanks a lot for that, Abhishek. Well, Hormoz joins us to tell us about some more stocks that are in the news today. Hormoz?
Morning, Nigel. And I'll start off with Tata Power, where it has received a letter of award for the development of 200 megawatts firm and dispatchable renewable energy project with SJVN. And it is likely to offset 9 lakh metric tons of carbon dioxide emissions annually once it is installed. And this project is likely to be commissioned within 24 months from the PPA execution date. Next up is BHEL, where it is looking to explore the maximization of the Jaitapur nuclear power plant with Electricité de France, which is the French state-owned company and a large nuclear operator worldwide, and it is also exploring a collaboration for the European pressurized reactors. Havells is up next, where it has launched its consumer durables brand Lloyd in the Middle Eastern market. The portfolio includes the range of ACs, washing machines, refrigerators and LED TVs as well, and it has partnered with Technodome, which is a Dubai-based conglomerate, for its distribution across the region. And lastly, we have Yatharth Hospitals, which has received an order from the Commissionerate of Sagar Sambhag in Madhya Pradesh that they will be taking over the premises of Ram Raja Hospitals because the land on which the hospital is built belongs to the Madhya Pradesh government. Now, the company has said that they will file an appeal against this order in the Madhya Pradesh High Court, and they've said that there will be no immediate operational or financial impact on this because of this order. Back to you.
Okay, thanks a lot for that. Well, here's a quick recap of our top stocks. Stocks with positive news flow. There's Aster, DM, Zomato, PCBL, Siemens, Union Bank, Manappuram Finance, Tata Power, BHEL and Havells. While the only stock with negative news flow is Yatharth Hospital. We take a quick break. On the other side of the break, Azad Moopen, who is the chairman at Aster DM Healthcare, will join in to talk about the selling of their Gulf business and more on their plans in a bit.